The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Ooh. It is depicting sea things. And there is still a little bit of the sea left, right in front of it.
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
Are we gonna talk about the symbols or no?
Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith.
Cyclopean. That must be a reference to some Greek mythology story.
On whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Maybe Cyclops are very big, so they could have crafted it. Yeah. It is a bit weird that appeared before he said it, but that's okay. Can we zoom in? What are these? Some whales? Sea creatures? Almost human skulls? That one looks like Cthulhu. That I know, of course. Everybody knows that one. More sea creatures. Aha. Sure.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
Ah, some mussels, a turtle, sharks, more sharks. No dolphins though. Where are the dolphins at? There is some crocodile-like thing. And lots of octopi.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales.
It is octopi! I'm so happy that I found the right plural for that.
Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
Yeah, the one in the middle is weird. The one on the right actually exists. I saw that one in a zoo. If it stings you, not good.
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain.
Yeah. Some of them. There were more like crab-like like creatures with chitin shells, I guess, that we saw.
It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
So this part on the top, huh? This part. Oh, there's an eldritch symbol now. Oh, so I think we missed one on the desk already. Oh, I get to read this. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings at the Mountains of Madness, the Nameless City, journals and characters' notes, the shadow out of time, the haunter of the dark, islands emerging from the ocean, the call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies. Mi-Go in the Whisper in Darkness. I don't know that one. Mi-Go doesn't ring a bell. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos, yes. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip to the details in order not to spoil the ending. Oh, let's skip the details. Yeah, sure. Phew.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
Those things down here? Or what are we talking about? Doré is a painter, I think.
I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men.
Yeah, man-like.
Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto.
Huh. Look almost a little bit like the Dementors from Harry Potter if I had to compare it to something. But that in the middle looks like the monolith. Like this same monolith we are standing in front of.
Or paying homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Yeah, there it is.
Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail. for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint.
So probably when you read the story, you imagine things that look even more horrible. I mean, this is an interpretation of the story, what you're seeing right now. Normally you'd imagine all of these things.
Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Poe is a poet. Don't know about Bulwer.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
So, sea people.
Glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
Nice.
Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
Wait, so these are way too big, or what does that mean exactly?
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
Ooh, here he is a little smaller, but I guess if you count the tail, no, it is larger. Yeah, nope, I don't want to encounter them. I hope they are long gone.
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size. But in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
I mean, let's hope so.
Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Yeah. I hope they are not alive anymore. I don't want to encounter one. I think they live in the sea, not on land, so it's still...
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist.
Anthropologist is somebody who researches different peoples, right?
I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it.
Uh-oh. What? Oh no. Oh no, please no.
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Nope. Where did it come from? It looked like only a little bit a bigger puddle or something.
Loathsome. It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
Okay, that jump scare got me a little bit. But I have to laugh a little bit about the sound I used because that's a classic jump scare sound. That's a big dude though.
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Okay, just like, don't notice me, I'm not even here. Ooh.
I think I went mad then.
I mean, understandable. I would probably...
Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
So he ran away. I would have probably gone mad a long time ago if it were him. So we're not doing well. Nope.
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, singing can keep you sane. But I think in these surroundings nothing keeps you sane.
Distinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
Who?
At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
What is that stuff in the distance? Are these stars? It kind of looks like glowing eyes. I don't like it.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Oh, how did I get here?
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Huh. So we were on our boat all the time. We only traveled in our mind.
In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
The floor looks not very tasty, but the rest looks fairly clean. A plant. Yeah, I guess this is okay.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing.
I mean, it looks fairly dilapidated, the building, but the sunlight is nice and Jesus is in the room, so we okay.
Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Of course they will not believe you. Oh, that's a long thing to read, but bear with me. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his own journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. Howard was a skilled wordsmith. Oh wait, H.P. Lovecraft? Howard P. Lovecraft was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticisms to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again, for the first time since his teenage years. Dagon, published in 1917. Oh, so 1 year before? No, during the First World War. So it's nearly a little bit more than 100 years ago. Is one of the short stories written during that period. In this example, excerpt from The Conservative, the master of horror fiction explains his attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Why any sane human being can believe in the possibility of a universal peace is more than the conservative can fathom. Should the entire civilized world agree simultaneously to disarm, one or more nations would undoubtedly retain secret armaments, like today, and at the proper time take advantage of their more altruistic and less astute contemporaries in a wild career of conquest against unarmed victims. That's exactly the situation since, I guess, the First World War, or since, I guess, ever, because you always have to fear that others will attack, so you yourself have to have an army and things to defend your country. No country is or ever can be above warfare until the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously changed, which is not very likely to happen soon. But that was surprisingly understandable for a theoretical text.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist.
That knows about the sea people?
And amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Oh, Dagon. It's not Dagon, it's Dagon. Okay. So that is something that actually exists, I imagine. Dagon. Did we see the fish god? Was that giant green thing that was green in this story? In this interpretation, the fish god? Dagon. It's also written with 2 A. Dagon. Dagon was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped through the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon was a common noun for grain. The rulers of Akkad, Mesopotamia, chose him as the patron saint of their war conquests. He also appeared as the judge of the dead in an Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warder in one of the Babylonian texts. So Dagon was a thing that appeared in different cultures, in different forms. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, As in Hebrew, the word dag means fish. In H.P. Lovecraft's works, Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones. Ooh, the deep ones, I heard about those. A humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Sure thing. Can we go anywhere? I mean, can we look at anything else than the papers right in front of me? Or do I have... Oh, here we go.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
So you look around in the bureau of this... What is he? Ethnologist? You find the Necronomicon. Of course, we can read something about it. August DERLETH and the Cthulhu Mythos. August DERLETH was an American writer and anthologist. He also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his works through his company, Arkham House. I know Arkham from the Arkham Asylum in the Batman world. Although he greatly contributed to the popularization of the author's works after his death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine. DERLETH was a devout Catholic to the Cthulhu Mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood as misrepresented in today's culture. Wait, whose work? Lovecraft's work? It is also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythology, and the term Cthulhu Mythos was coined by DERLETH after the author left the mortal plane. Yeah, that's often how things happen with... In culture, like people that come after them kind of misquote or like attribute things or interpret things and then pass them on in their view. That happens in musicology too, which I studied. So we have certain views on certain artists that do not really reflect how they really were. Can we continue or... Do I have to find a certain thing that I haven't found yet? Here? There? No? Oh, I can also look around here, of course. Yes. Oh! Okay. What are we doing here? Why are we spying in this man's office? Or is this our office? I thought it was the one of the ethnologist, but I guess we determined he's no good. I don't think I can interact with that thing. No, just look at it. Can I zoom in? I have not found what I'm supposed to look at yet. I guess we just look at different things in this office one by one. No, nothing else to look at, I think.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
Can we... there was a thing we missed here, I think.
I tried morphine.
I see.
But the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave.
Yeah, drugs are rarely a good idea.
So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Contemptuous amusement. Wasn't there a... I missed one of those question mark Eldritch things. It was right here, but then I clicked there and now we can't access it anymore. That's annoying, but I guess we will look at this. Lovecraft on tobacco and alcohol. Lovecraft hated tobacco. I have something in common with Lovecraft. Even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult, some things just haven't changed in the last 100 years. In his correspondence with friend Reinhard Kleiner, he claims that he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. So I guess kind of puberty. He also had a very strong opinion about alcohol, as evidenced by his letter to Zealia Brown, dated 13th February 1928. Oh, so he lived longer than I thought. He lived later than I thought. As for the matter of drinking, I have never tasted intoxicating liquor and never intended to. Having a strong aesthetic disgust at anything which blunts or coarsens the delicate natural equipoise of the evolved human intellect and imagination. I see. Drinking excited my personal repugnance, hence I don't drink. Let the herd do what they will. I am rather in favor of prohibition, the prohibition of any one antisocial force as well as of any other. Okay. So, he was okay with banning alcohol. Source, the spirit of... Okay, yeah. That's just the source. Interesting. But morphine is okay, or what were his views in other drugs?
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm.
I mean, it could have.
A mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat, after my escape from the German man-of-war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
I'm afraid of a jump scare now.
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
True, but you don't have to go near the sea again if you don't want to.
Worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite.
It's a giant one.
I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
They attack New York. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna move somewhere far away from the sea.
The end is near.
Oh no, are they coming here? Oh, I don't like this. Let's move to some faraway mountain. Maybe. Oh god, they are at my door. That was fast.
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Why would you come for me? Just because I watched you in the other world? I don't think I'm special. Maybe because I ate your tuna friends. Oh shit, should not have messed with the fish people. Hello? Nope, not going there. Yeah, let's write my last will. Take some morphine. Set the place on fire, maybe. Yeah, I mean the classic things you do when you're in your last minutes of living, I guess. But maybe they want to make me one of theirs. I don't know. Maybe we continue living.
It shall not find me.
Let me guess. The window. Oops, it found me.
God, that hand! The window! The window!
Yep, I'm at it. Do Dude, you could have opened it. Just saying. There we go. And we don't know if they were real. I mean, it could have been just our illusion, and now we sprang out of the window and committed suicide in that way, ending all the hallucinations and everything. You can interpret that how you will. Thank you for playing. We hope you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror. We would appreciate if you took a moment to rate Dagon and check out our other games and DLCs. So, this DLC is not available yet. This one is. You can buy it for $5. I think it's about $5, maybe $4. Not sure how it is in dollars or euros. It contains the story that you've just heard. There is one version with the soundscape. There is one version without the soundscape. So just an audiobook and some other neat stuff like wallpapers and everything. I will do this later. But I first want to have a look at... This is very pretty, by the way. Is this from the original book or is that their design? Not sure. This is apparently another interactive story like this one that they made, I think. From Hemingway, if I'm right. I think I had a look at it earlier. Let me see the trivia. So these things, huh? But wait, shouldn't I? Oh, so I missed... Oh god, I missed so many. But honestly, in the beginning, I did not know what I was looking for. And for some reason, I did miss so many. So this one we had, this one we missed, this one we had, this one we missed, this one we had. Oh god, I have like 5 and there are 20. So if you are interested in Lovecraft, his life, his writing and other things about him and the myths he created, the stories he created, not really the myths. We learned that he did not want to create myths. Play this yourself and find more than 5 maybe. I can recommend playing this yourself. It feels different somehow, even if you don't move around with WASD or anything, but just that you move the camera and you have those sounds right in your headphones. It kind of changes the experience. I really liked this. It was like an advanced visual novel type of thing. And although I think that cosmic horror, or horror in general, that contains otherworldly creatures, it's kind of, I mean, it's undepictable really. It is supposed to only live in the head. But as I am a lazy dude, I tend to not read that much, so this was a great way to experience this story. I hope you have had a good time, and you have a good week, and I wish you goodbye.